And you just watch the way Green Bay is getting started here. They're really crisp. There it is. You know, like they do in wrestling. Boom! There it is. Boom! Right there. That's a wham block. There it is.
Throw me the money!
Good morning. Put the coffee on. Time to wake Rake, win some wagers. Friends are all here. More are coming. Cricket's going to be here in a minute. Coach is up early. Chris is over there making sure it all works, shoveling coal in the engine. And Ari's back to promote her wagers and her products and share her pretty face with us this morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. Are you going to read us the night before Christmas at the end before we log off?
Why not?
I feel like
right?
that's the setting you've got going on there.
It's really cozy. It's really cozy. My little pup is over here sleeping by the fireplace, so it's really cute.
You're basically a Lifetime movie right now.
Yeah, you could just have me like on the Hallmark Channel, like instead of the U-Log.
Yeah, they have that channel that's just a fire. I feel like we could improve upon that. Coach, how are things in the Panhandle State?
Good, doing good.
Outstanding. You ready to win all your bets and your fantasy lineups today? Are you still able to make the playoffs in any leagues? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm still hanging on. I'll tell you what, last weekend was good. It was really good. And then this week not so much. Monday the whole Steelers debacle, and then we had the Jaguar meltdown there, and then I kind of righted the ship yesterday with the sweet backdoor cover on the safety on Army Navy. Man, that was I had the Army
safety heard around the world.
I had the Army and the over, and when they stuffed them at the goal line, my heart sunk, and I was like, oh no, they're gonna trot it out there and take the safety. This is gonna push it over. And when they did that, I was like, yes,
for America.
God bless America.
Yeah.
That was huge.
I can't believe he
got me
stepped out
right
the back
back right
of the end zone.
for Sunday.
Yeah,
I
that
can't believe
safety,
he
I guess, was about a $700 million swing.
I loved it.
So no big deal.
Hey, it was so big that it was so big that they already punched the ticket wrong. They already punched the ticket as a loser. And had to go back and swap it. Yeah.
That's
I had to contact. They're like, they had to send out a deal and said, hey, we are we're this is a technical error. We'll get it corrected. I was like, you're damn right you will. So
guys, we had no idea. Yeah.
No reason for him to step out of the back of that end zone. He could just flung it out and been done.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Flung it out to the out of bounds and been done with it.
And he literally
he just walked out.
And it pushed it right over. I mean, and there's no doubt on the sidelines, somebody went, hey, man, just run around as long as you can and then just step out the back and we'll be good.
Yeah.
But nobody, I mean, everybody in Vegas had to be – I would have loved to have been in the sports book right there when that happened because it literally just swung it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What was the swing on that? Did one of you guys say there was a –
I saw somebody tweet that it was about $700 million.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's totally, absolutely. Because it was 100%.
The total is where most of the wagers were, I assume. That game was full of surprises. I had both teams punt on their first possession plus 150, which I thought was a moral lock.
You hit that.
And
you hit that.
Army gets stuffed on third down. They come out and go for it. What service academy goes for it on fourth down ever?
The fucking Army does. You think you're safe? Your enemies sit down to drink their tea and scrumpets. Headshots, motherfucker. We're still here.
Yeah,
we ain't go nowhere.
They crossed the Delaware and slit my ticket right in half. That's what you'll have that. But professional football.
Oh yeah, we're NFL today, baby.
Craig Lennox is here. Hi, all. Good morning. My running back right now, I have Travis Etienne on the bench. Start Bijan Robinson, Josh Jacobs, and Gibbs. Up in Canada is not bad. What's the temperature up there? I got 31 and cloudy here. I wonder what it's like out in Oh, Canada. Travis Etienne he was good last week. Gibbs, I know you want to play Gibbs because the Bears give up the receiving yards to running backs like crazy. This is a tough one. Bijan I have on my fantasy teams, and he's been better. They're giving him the opportunities. So I'd say it depends where you're at as far as if you're projected to win or lose. What do you think, Coach?
I'm a little bit worried about Jacksonville today on account of their quarterback is dinged up.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to play, but I don't know for how long. And that, you know, they're playing Cleveland today, which is pretty solid. I don't like that, but I don't hate it because it could turn into them just handing the ball off. If Beathard, what's his name? Backup, is it Beathard?
Yep, Beathard.
If he rolls in there, it'll be dumps and handoffs and check downs all the rest of the day. That's all they'll get. So
it's nicer in Canada than it is here today. It's 5 Celsius there. So what, nice. 41, about 41.2, 41.1.
I like where his mind's at on that. But I do like I like Bijan. Bijan today. I've been riding Bijan for a while, and he's kind of, once they figured out they had a real weapon, they put him on the shelf for a while. Couldn't believe it. I don't know what was going on down there, but they finally figured out that they needed to feed him a little bit. It's been better.
Yep. Oh, that's Patriot 416.5. Sorry, that's how you say it. He was on the receiving end of that over-under reading. Well, here's one for you. I had 10-3 exact final score at 100 to 1 for $1. And I thought all Army had to do was get that ball back and grind the clock out, but they took it away and ran it back. I was listening to it in the car. I heard the fumble, and I'm like, oh, no, please don't tell me he's about to score with this. And then there was a safety. That game was wild. Arguably the craziest Army-Navy game since, last year when it almost went double overtime. Cricket, top of the morning. How you doing? Can you tell I'm having my Celsius?
That's fair. I'm doing all right, man. I woke up a little late this morning. How's everybody else doing? Y'all good?
Oh, man. We're just wading about waist deep into this Army-Navy situation that just literally just
tilted the books tilted the books with 1 second left. Just
bro, they paid me out. I bet under 20.
They didn't pay us, and then they had to correct it.
Right.
I got a thing I sent to my buddy. I got the little ticket. It says 1 on it, but I got under 27.5, and they paid me out.
Yeah.
So they paid both sides.
They paid both sides.
They had to. I'm sure they had all of like $313 wagered on that in my site. So
it was $700 million swing in Vegas.
So they paid. So they never corrected it, Cricket. You literally got paid.
They corrected ours. They told us we lost, and then they came back and said we won. So you won and we won.
Yeah,
sweet. Wow. I love it when we all win, man.
They never took your money back.
No, it's a PR nightmare if you do that.
Holy shit!
Oh yeah, no, you can't.
They backed the truck up last night.
Everybody you took the winning bet from is gonna post it all over social media. Like, don't bet with these guys. They just took my money.
Boy,
this is the third time. This is the third time Fanatics has paid me out now for a bet I did not win.
Oh, wow. I'm in.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I need to go over there.
At what point, if you're Fanatics, do you come to your employees and say, hey, babe, I need y'all to take a fucking breath?
Something.
Wait 5 minutes after that game shuts down.
Yeah. Can we wait till the coach is doing an interview before we pay bets out?
Because they haven't got the Gatorade down his back yet.
Yeah, they paid me on that Florida Panthers game that they had to review in a shootout and bring the players out of the locker room. Then they paid me on Jackson Smith and Jigba's anytime touchdown when they took it away on Thursday Night Football a couple weeks ago. They paid me on that and a parlay.
I couldn't believe
paid me on the Army Navy game.
Wow,
that's crazy,
that's
bro.
Awesome.
I looked at it and told my buddy, I was like, what the fuck is going on, man? I'll take it, but I don't know.
That's awesome.
That makes our ROI look really good when they just pay us for every bet, whether we win or lose.
I love it.
Looks really good.
That's
a big boost.
I love it.
I honestly watching that game, Cricket, were you a little bit? I was defeated when they stopped them at the goal line, and then all of a sudden when they trotted it out there, I thought, are they intentionally going to do this right here? And I thought for sure there was a coach that said, "Hey, run around as long as you can." All he had to do was chuck it out of bounds.
Yeah. I mean, it was over. That's what makes me look. And I'm like, this has got to be rigged in this spot. Like, I can totally see him rigging the Army Navy game. Nobody really gives a shit about that football. I'm sorry. I understand the pageantry and all that, but that football game's garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
bad.
tough. It's tough to watch.
Tough to watch.
Yeah.
You have to
the
watch.
over and unders at 27.5. You know that it's going to be a struggle.
If you can't score 4 touchdowns in a Division I college football game, you shouldn't be allowed to play.
So
Zone read team.
I like to judge like how good a game is on, the watchability. And I love football and I can't watch. I have to wager $50 or above on Army Navy to get into it. $5 bet, I'm not getting into it. $10 bet, I'm $35 bet, can't sit down. That's a $50 bet game for me to be able to sit down and watch it.
He's got to sit down and
50 and above. I gotta I have to want to win that bet.
Brock, I caught myself watching more of the FCS playoffs than I did the Army Navy game.
You know what? The Jacks, that game was good. The Jacks are legit.
Yeah, man.
I actually was betting my son on that. Took a little bit of Villanova, and I was a little bit after halftime. I thought, man, this is a bad move here.
Yeah, dude.
The Jacks are for real, and they have been for a while. You don't want to face, when you're talking about FCS stuff, you don't want to face anything with the Dakota in it.
No.
You got North Dakota or South Dakota, you're in trouble.
That's true,
the Jacks and the Bison are legit up there. They got nothing else to do.
All of them, the state schools and the state university. You got the North Dakota State, North Dakota, South Dakota State. So they're all good, man.
Yeah. You don't want to lock horns with them.
Craig, go ahead.
It's going to be like 2 degrees. And they're going to line up and they're going to hit you in the mouth. And the wind may be blowing about 800.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's miserable. Every time I turn on that stadium, it's miserable.
Craig is up there in Canada talking. We bet a lot of college sports. Craig, if you follow any one of us on X or Twitter, you'll see a ton of college picks every week. We bet the shit out of it Saturday and Sundays. But
and
now we are NFL.
And if you follow me on TikTok, I do a lot of college basketball too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Ari, do you have your TikTok up there?
I do have my TikTok up here. It is at Ariel Callista. Yeah, yesterday, I
story.
This is actually a great story. So I had like a informal kind of audition with a major TV network, and they have sports programming every week. Okay. And I actually gave the director quite a few plays. I gave him 6 plays. I said they were great plays, like definitely go ahead and play in college basketball. And 4 plays that were favorites. So everyone said like they're favorites, but I said, don't play these. Like I wouldn't touch these with a 10-foot pole. The 6 that I gave him, he actually ended up parlaying with a $2,000 parlay. And he ended up cashing out $90,000 yesterday.
I feel like you're going to get a second interview.
No. He put $2,000 on the parlay?
Yeah, with my 6 plays.
Which evidently was 45-1.
Oh my gosh.
That's a big huevos. That's big huevos.
Big marbles.
I mean, you're a straight shooter with
Biden's America
all over you.
Yeah,
that's big time.
That's different.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know how I feel about parlays. I'm a straight type player. But hey, follow my TikTok. I post my plays there every day before the game. So
the beautiful thing about Ari's plays or Cricket's plays is they don't parlay. They're like Toyota Priuses. They are conservative and they win. So you can grab them and parlay the shit out of them and feel good about it.
Yep.
I don't recommend it. I prefer myself.
Thank you, Ari. Yeah, we don't recommend it. You can play them if you want, but bet them straight. Come on now.
Yeah, I call my new parlay method called successive sizzlers. So, I mean, you can't play all the games, all the games can't be playing at the same time, but you could take all of your
Well,
winnings.
success at the Sizzler.
And
I
then-
can get into that.
Yeah, and then double it down on the next
Just
play,
the
and then keep, taking all of your winnings from each play and just add it to your next play,
The
and to
ladder.
your next play, and to your
Ma'am,
next
I
play.
got to ask, have you ever actually been to the Sizzler?
The Sizzler?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, okay. That's exactly. I was like, do you even know what the Sizzler is?
Let me tell you. Let me give you a little education. Old school Oklahoma education.
Oh man.
I paused him. Go ahead. You go, Eric. We're never gonna get to football.
That's true. Carolina Panthers heading down to New Orleans to take on the Saints. The Saints are laying 6 points. I feel like they can cover that. I think Carolina is a disaster of an organization. I've taken the liberty of writing down all of the liabilities of each defense, of everybody who's in the bottom 5 defending whatever. So New Orleans, this defense is atrocious. They are in the bottom 5 defending quarterback pass yards, running back receiving yards, wide receiver receiving yards, tight end touchdowns, and slot receivers. So pretty much everything is wide open. That makes me worry about betting on New Orleans. And Carolina, pretty good defense. They have a solid pass defense over there. Derek Carr not going to play. I don't think Taysom Hill is going to play either. So this is just Jameis winging it. So if you're thinking Kamara receiving yards, I would forget that. Jameis kills that bet.
I do like Kamara over 4.5 receptions on a big passing game.
With Jameis? Jameis scares me. But now I'm second guessing that. All right.
I know I always come on here and say something controversial.
What do you think about Chuba Hubbard? Looking at Chuba Hubbard's receiving numbers, like possibly he's getting more involved.
I don't have
I
anything
don't
on
know
him
how
today.
Jameis scares you, but you like Chuba Hubbard.
Jameis doesn't throw it to running backs. That's what freaks me out. Derek Carr dumps it off 14 times a game.
Jameis is either one or the other. Either he'll have 47 fantasy points or he'll have -6.
Yeah.
That's about right.
Yeah. And
He
I
may
still
complete
like
more passes to the other team than he does his own. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, but he never quits. That's what I love about James. It's all effort, all the time. He throws 5 interceptions. He does not care. He's going to keep throwing it.
That's
Heather's
right.
here. Top of the morning. What are you making for breakfast? That's what we need to know. What Craig needs to know, should I switch Hill or Ingram? Hill or Ingram? Who is let's see. Ingram had a hell of a game last week. I'm going to look at the
Do you like
practice
Taysom?
report for the Saints.
Is that
I like
who it is?
Taysom if he
Taysom Hill?
plays.
Is that
Yeah.
Taysom and Evan?
Taysom Hill did not practice all week with a foot injury. He's listed as questionable.
Is that
That's
Taysom
the-
Hill and Evan Ingram? Is he talking about?
Yeah, for tight ends. So Taysom Hill is scaring me. I would check
Yeah,
the
you gotta play Ingram here.
I would check the social medias.
If he hadn't practiced all week, man, he's probably not going in there. Especially with a foot thing, you got a lower body injury. If he's not practiced all week, he's not just going to magically heal overnight.
Yeah,
Be able to get there. And if he does, he's going to be what 80% at best.
yeah, and he's not going to be any good for those inside the 5 packages. that
Yeah.
they
He's
use
not
in
super good at
sports.
100%, is he?
I mean, solid. Just don't get enough volume there. I mean, usually when he gets the volume, though, he usually has pretty big games. But with a foot injury like that, I mean, I don't even know, especially against the Carolina Panthers, why are you even going to run him out there?
Right.
No, this game is gross. We're trying to get into the fantasy playoffs here. We got Jameis out here possibly putting our lives in danger. This game makes me sad. Should we talk about Lions and Bears? Bears now getting 3.5 at home in a divisional game against the Lions. What do you think about this, Cricket? Do we lay the 3.5 here with the Lions on the road in Chicago? Rumors of weather, no more weather.
Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be all that bad as far as weather. It's like we looked at it yesterday on the Super Football podcast. It's like 43 degrees, like 8-mile-an-hour winds, maybe 18-mile-an-hour gusts, something like that. No precipitation. So it's not. I mean, that's pretty nice weather for Chicago in December right there. And this game feels weird to me, man. I don't know. A lot of people I really respect their opinion are pretty heavy on the Bears in this spot. I think I'm looking more at the total. It's in my no man's land, but it didn't start there. It started at like 40.5 earlier in the week. and it's gone up 2.5 points up to 43 right there. This team just played a couple weeks ago with a final score of 31-26. There's your both teams over 19.5, Eric, right there.
Yeah,
probably.
That's plus 207. I think I got that already.
I think I like it, man. I do. But this just feels like a weird spot to pick a side for me because of so many people I respect being on the Bears. I think I'm probably going to wind up going with the total and probably go over this thing, man.
I like it. I like both Gibbs. I like both Gibbs and maybe Roschon in this game. Both teams bottom 5 in receiving yards to running backs, and also Detroit bottom 5 in rush yards to quarterbacks. So, and touchdowns to tight ends. And that's basically all Justin Fields loves to do. Run it, throw it to the tight end, occasionally dump it off. What were you saying, Ariel, before I cut you off?
Oh, on this game in particular, I keep hearing Lions from the wise guys, but I don't see any money showing up on a Lions, so I'm going to pass just on the spread here. But on the totals, it did open up at 46.5 and it moved to 43. There is level 2 money on the under right now from the Sharps. So I like the under in this game.
Somebody knows something.
Yeah, the Sharps are showing up on the under here. So, and Vegas is moving the line accordingly. So to me, this seems like under.
They're not being stubborn.
No, I think I'm staying away from this, man. It must have been another line. It must have been a summertime line or something that was at 40.5 and it moved up because I was like sitting here and I'm looking. I'm like, I don't like to bet between 42 and 45 anyway on totals right there. I'm probably, the more I sit and look at this game and more I don't know what's going on, I'm probably just staying away from this one, man.
I don't understand why Roschon's receiving yards are set at 8.5. He caught 5 of 5 targets for 40 yards the week before the bye. He's gone over 8 yards receiving in just about every game he's played. Sometimes only 10 or 14 yards, but over 8.5.
Yeah,
might be a rickety ladder I'm going to climb. I'm not sure. Might take that thing all the way up to 40.
He'd catch one pass and be over that in no time.
Yeah, he's athletic as hell.
Yeah.
So Ari, you said it opened up where at 46?
46.5, and now
40, and it's all the way down to 43.
43 with level 2 money.
So
the money's coming from the Sharps.
And Vegas is just kind of letting it dictate itself. So
it's not Vegas is adjusting.
Yeah,
Vegas is adjusting for the Sharps. So for me, like moving 3.5 points from where it originally opened, that's a huge move that Vegas is doing right there. So it seems to me that they're agreeing with the Sharps. So I like the under.
Because last week we saw money coming in and Vegas saying, fuck you. We're sitting right here.
Yeah.
So they were being bullish last week, and this week they're kind of moving with the tide. So we can move with the tide as well. That's what you're saying, right, Ari? We just got to move with the tide.
Yeah, I'd say move how Vegas is moving. They're moving towards under. I say the under is the play here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like
Be like the people who build the giant hotels.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and a lot of those hotels weren't built like based on bank loans or anything. I mean, just pure profits. They built these hotels.
Just straight up McDonald's bags of cash, baby.
Yep. The whole city was built on minus 115s.
Yeah, minus 115. That's exactly right. And keep pressing that slot button when you come in to check in the hotel, please.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, this week was a little weird for props. I noticed that there were a lot of props that should have been sitting at minus 115, but Vegas, they're not giving anything away this week. A lot of the props that should be sitting at minus 115 are sitting at minus 160.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm finding it's hard to find value anymore because once people get on something, like the first touchdowns are just about dead now. It's hard to find anything good over 20-1. And I'm finding now like defense, sacks, interceptions, tackles plus assists. These are the things that some people are still not looking into. Will is saying he likes KC. Nobody else does. Ari, where is the money on that KC Buffalo game? Because I thought I was so smart early in the week saying, give me Buffalo. Is that what everyone's saying?
Well, Kansas City Chiefs, they opened up at -3 and now they're sitting at -1.5. But I'm going to pass on this game. I'm not expecting the Chiefs to roll over and die here, as this is going to be a passing game for the Chiefs, but I'm just not playing it.
Heather making an outright threat. She's going to boycott the show if we cut Coach off one more time while he's talking about food.
Oh, no. Oh, but one more thing. I do like the Chiefs running back, Jerick McKinnon, over 2.5 receptions. I think this is going to be a pass-oriented game for Kansas City.
Yep, Pacheco out. I think Mahomes and Josh Allen rushing yards. And, I love McKinnon receiving stats, too. So I think he's going to be involved. They trust him. He's been there before. He's gone on playoff runs with them. This is a game he can trust to dump it off to McKinnon, and he's going to get the 7, 4 yards, whatever. Is the Bears doing a lot better now? That's a question for John. I'm not sure. I've been really focused on my Green Bay Packers, trying to decide if I should have hope or not. I think the Bears' future depends on what they decide to do with Justin Fields and their draft picks. We won't know if the Bears are doing better until about this time next year.
The organization may be tanking, but Justin Fields is not, man. Every week he goes out, it's like kind of an audition for where he's going to land next. I do think his future is somewhere else besides Chicago. But for that guy, everybody else may be tanking, but that guy's not going to. He's going to come out and try to show up and play. He's trying to earn him another job somewhere, man.
Yep. Justin Fields and Kyler Murray both sort of in that position. Like they might be replaced and they want to look good for whoever's going to write the big check next year. And somebody is. There's always a couple GMs who are convinced they can fix a guy. Speaking of GMs, this Houston GM, they're crushing it down there. Texans going to see the Jets. Jets getting 3.5 at home. The total is a flat 33. I have a bad feeling that these Jets are going to make CJ Stroud look like a rookie this week. I'm worried about the rookie wall that a lot of these young Texans may be hitting. I heard Josh Downs say that the bye came just in time because he was about to hit it, and that put it in my brain. So now I'm just looking at these rookies like, when is it going to happen? When are they going to fall off? Is the rookie wall overrated, Cricket?
I think so, man. I think it all depends on individual talents, individual mindsets, and things like that. CJ Stroud looks like a guy that's years ahead of his time here, man. He just looks
really
like he's handling. Yeah, he looks like he's handling. Doesn't get really rattled. Just always has the same expression. Reminds me a lot of Jalen Hurts when it comes to mentality right there. Just doesn't seem to let it really get to him. Just keeps fighting through. And the guy's got all the physical talent in the world, obviously. Got a lot of good weapons around him right there. Got a good head coach that believes in him. So, yeah, he's in a good spot. So I think it really just boils down to each individual scenario and the person involved in that scenario.
Jalen Hurts, CJ Stroud, possibly Jordan Love. They're in this new category that I'm calling AI quarterbacks. They almost learn like machines. They make a mistake and then they don't make it again. And after about 12 games, they look like they've been doing this shit for years. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Then it's pause for the cause.
That's right.
Ari, you're such a welcome addition to the show.
Thank you. Well, this is my favorite thing, cannabis and sports betting. I always have much fun here.
Hell yeah. That's what we're here for.
Well, what do you think about this?
Well, as soon as we get Ari's take, then let's go. This is going to fuck me up, but can we start at the top of Bet US and move down?
So, I'm on Bovada.
Oh, that's where I'm getting tripped up. I'm like, how are they picking? I'm like, we're all over the place, but we're not.
Okay.
Actually, you have a list. As long as we're running off of a list that starts at the top and ends at the bottom, I'm good. I don't have to see it. But let's stay on that same list so we don't miss it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We are gonna.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks.
Best producer in the league.
Yes,
Ari,
sir.
I only like the Texans when they're getting points. They're laying 3.5 on the road. I want nothing to do with the Houston Texans today. What do you think about this one?
Well, Houston opened up at -4.5, and it moved to -3.5 on level 1 money all week. But the line isn't responding to the money at all. So I'm wondering, is Vegas leaning towards the Jets? I don't really know what they're thinking here. I'm going to pass on this game, but I love the under here. It opened up at 38.5 and it moved to 33 on level 5 money. That is on my scale. It only goes from 1 to 5. So that is a lot of money.
Can you explain your levels just precisely?
Yeah, so the money levels is really just like how much money is going on the under versus the over. that's how I make my analysis. You could see a little more details in my free morning emails if you join, but by adding your email to the Stay in Touch box on www.arielcallista.com. I explain a little bit more and go into a little more detail there on how I make all of my analysis. But really, like I just stick to the math and I keep it consistent. And with all of the money, level 5 level money, which is the highest it could go, all on the under here, and Vegas moving the line accordingly from 38.5 to 33. The under is a play. The under is a play even at 33, and the rain isn't going to be as bad as expected. The wind is still going to be a factor, though, and I feel like wind is an important factor that a lot of people don't even really look at that much. So the under is definitely a play here. I also have CJ Stroud under half an interception, and I also have Nico Collins under 5.5 receptions.
Yeah, I think with Tank Dell out, people are going to want to gravitate towards Nico Collins, and these books know that. They'll probably put a nice fat like plus 105 on the over just to draw you in, and that's when you know it's a trap.
Is Noah Brown playing?
I believe so. I'm pulling up there.
If he's playing, look at him for some of your DFS, man. He probably he's a guy that could have a big day. Probably won't be in a high percentage of lineups right there because he's been banged up. But he's supposed to be back today, and with Tank Dell being down, he's another guy that can get some volume in that thing.
He practiced limited Wednesday, full practice Thursday, didn't practice Friday. Maybe they just let him rest it on Friday. Yeah. Sheldon Rankins is also looking a bit banged up. I was hoping to bet on him to get a sack. Guess not.
So far, what I got is we have a under bet. Ari has an under bet on the Chicago-Detroit game. Ari has an under bet on the Texans and Jets game. And what else have you put anything out yet, Crick?
I have not. I'm sitting here. I'm looking at mine. I'll finalize mine. I'll have mine put up by about noon today. So,
on Twitter, Coach. On those two games, Detroit, Houston. I know Ari's giving the under, so I know you'll be on the under. But I know you're not going to bet those games without betting the side as well and parlaying it because that's just not how you roll. What side do you like in this Texas game? I'm going to be honest. I like CJ Stroud, and maybe I'm wrong, but I was going to ride him on this game.
I honestly don't like the game at all because I don't really know what the Jets are going to look like. They're the biggest mystery to me. I just don't like the game at all. I don't.
We have possibly the first reluctant quarterback start in NFL history.
Yeah, I don't
think this kid wants to play.
Is this one coach that me and you would be arm wrestling and head wrestling and trying to bet on a Thursday, but on a Sunday you're like, yeah, pass it. There's 17 games. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's exactly
walk away
right.
from it.
I mean, that's just how I feel on it. Unless and I listen to several of the people that are in the know and supposed to be really good at this morning, and everybody seems to be split on it. I don't know why, with all the games on the slate, why we would even, I just don't know. You don't know what the Jets are going to look like. I have a hard time believing that they rally around Wilson. I don't like Wilson to begin with.
I don't think they do.
So we can't even pull a fantasy guy off the Jets.
You should have pulled those guys off a while ago.
Yeah.
I don't even like it. I don't even like talking about it. I just think.
Well, then I'm just going to ride with Ari on this, bet the under, and puke the rest of it out and leave.
I don't hate her play there. I don't hate the under on.
No, that's a good play. The play is the right play.
I see some of my friends in the comments, Tyler, Chuck commenting. They're taking the under too. I think this is a solid play.
Yeah, no, it's the correct play if you want to make money. Now, if you just want to fuck off your money, here's what you do. We're going to double it up with 17 other parlays.
Yeah.
Well, here's this into 10,000 to 1.
Here's a way more fun game. Colts at Bengals. Bengals minus 2.5. The total is 44. I think this thing sails over. We saw what Evan Engram did to the Bengals last week. Listen to what the Bengals are bottom 5 in defending against. Quarterback pass yards and rush yards, wide receiver receiving yards, and tight end receiving yards. I think Gardner Minshew and the Colts are going to go down there and beat the Cincinnati Bengals. What do you think, Cricket?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm on the Colts right here too. They're one of my lovely +2.5s right there. I like taking those, man. I like to fade the -2.5s. Colts playing some good football, still in the race for that division down there, especially with Trevor Lawrence going down for the Jaguars. The Texans got a tough game up there in New York today. I know it's the Jets, but it's still going to be a tough game against that defense. Indy could pick up some ground right here if they can go get a win against the Bengals. You got a backup quarterback in Jake Browning who just played an awesome game on Monday night.
He did.
I got a feeling we're going to see a little regression today, man. The Indy front seven's pretty solid. Going to get some pressure on him today. So I like the Colts in this game, man, getting the points, but I think they win it straight up. Go ahead and sprinkle a little bit on that money line.
Samson Ebukam, 2 sacks last week. I think Kwity Paye had 2 sacks last week. I love Michael Pittman today. 85 plus receiving yards. You get +105. Ari, tell me you also like that. Michael Pittman receiving yards.
I actually like Zach Moss today, under 18.5 rushing attempts.
That tells me they're going to throw it.
Good
Good enough.
That bodes well for you.
Can I just say this real quick? Ari's the only person that we've ever had on in 3 years that we've been doing this that consistently comes on and does what we talk about when on other shows. She finds the under. She doesn't just look at the overs, and that's hard to do. It's subjective as a human, right? When you're looking at lines, you always think positive. Boom, boom, boom. And then we always discuss, hey, we need to get our wash that off of our heads and look at some of these unders because we may be missing some plays. And I got to tell you, you consistently come in here with the unders and you fucking crush them. And I appreciate that. Thanks. Ari.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It makes me think it's weird because in my preseason, like my future props, receiving yards, receptions, touchdowns, whatever, I look for unders. I find somebody who's going to get injured or going to underachieve because of whatever reason. And then when the season starts, I'm like, okay, who's going to have the most receiving yards in the 1 p.m. games? All right, let's maybe not go first to fifth. Chuck says top 3 plays at Circa today are Lions, Bengals, and Eagles. We covered Lions a little, but the other 2 are a bit more interesting. Yes.
No, you're right, Chuck.
Now.
Yeah, let's
that.
actually talk about this Colts Bengals game a little bit more.
Yeah.
I love that everybody's on the Bengals. That makes me like Gardner Minshew even more. This Colts team, Shane Steichen is getting ear buzz. If Shane Steichen wins this game definitively, I mean, he'll be a real candidate. I'm going to pull up the odds on that.
I think it's interesting in this game how the Colts started off as a favorite at -2.5, but then it quickly flipped to the Bengals -2.5 on some solid play. But I don't really hear the pros taking the Colts, but then again, the money isn't really strong yet, so I might even be thinking the Bengals in this spot. I might even play it. I don't know.
Oh, they don't even have Coach of the Year listed anymore. What the hell? They're scared. DeMar Hamlin down to -250. He was like -700 for comeback player of the year before the season starts. This is surprising. Tyreek Hill -300 for offensive player of the year. Christian McCaffrey +220. I thought the race was a little closer than that. But back to this Colts-Bengals game. I like everybody you could possibly start on the Colts. Josh Downs, Zach Moss, Michael Pittman, maybe even a little Mo Alley Cox anytime touchdown for 10-1. I don't know. I mean, Cincinnati gives it up to the tight ends like crazy. Who's their primary tight end in Indianapolis? Cricket, are you aware of what tight end they use the most? Do you have your headphones on? No, you don't. You're about to put them on, though. I don't know who the I think Mo Alley Cox is the tight end one in Indianapolis. So that's where I already did. I parlayed Mo Alley Cox and Tommy Tremble, 2 backup tight ends who are going to get a shot today. Cricket, you're still muted. Coach, what do you got on this Bengals Colts game?
There we go.
Oh,
there we go.
Hang on. He had a lot to say.
Yes. Why don't you repeat everything you just said?
I said I'm pretty sure Mo Alley Cox is probably the guy that's going to get the tight end work down there in Indy. But I like your little tight end parlay there with the backup tight ends, man. Looking to make some
93-1. Tommy Tremble, Mo Alley Cox. You just need 2 things to happen.
They're trying to give it away, man.
They are. If you add Cole Kmet, it's 317-1. But I don't tell people how to live their life.
Are you on a side on this one? You're on the Colts, aren't you?
Me, I'm on the Colts. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the Colts. We talked about that yesterday. Ari is not on a side, I don't think.
She's thinking Cincinnati.
Yeah. I mean, I'm leaning Bengals, but I'm still not sure yet because the money isn't strong. The total also is kind of interesting. It moved from 40 to 44. So that's a big-ish move. It moved on some money, but Vegas really seems to be pushing the overline here. So I'm going to expect more points than normal in this game. But I'm keeping my eye on the total here.
And yeah, you got like Tyler says right there. Yeah, you got Colin Granson. He's got 20 catches on the year. Drew Ogletree's got 9 catches on the year, and then Mo Alley Cox got 6 catches on the year. So no tight end. Even Will Mallory down there got 8 catches on the year at tight end. So they got 4 different guys. They're just kind of spreading it around a little bit. Nobody. I don't know if you want to put all your eggs in that basket, man. It's too up in the air for you.
Will Mallory sounds like about a 90-1 first touchdown guy, doesn't he?
Absolutely. That's fixing to say. That's a cod lock right there, man.
Yep. Oh, Mo Alley Cox, the only one they got listed. Alley Cox and Ogletree are both 42-1. Yeah,
Sounds
I like.
right.
I mean, what's the biggest alternate total we can go with here? Over 46.5 plus 120. I like that.
I think that's
27-20.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Lock it in, man. Do exact score. Do it exactly.
I want to talk to Granson. I've never even heard of this Granson dude. I'm behind on the Colts tight end situation. They still got Dallas Clark over there?
They could, man. I guarantee you still go out there and do the damn thing, man.
Are we have we exhausted the Colts Bengals? Should I go?
I got nothing more for the Colts Bengals, man. Go Colts.
Okay. Jacksonville Jaguars at Cleveland Browns. This will be short work. Browns minus 1.5, totals 35.5. Is the weather going to be disgusting? I'm not sure. I haven't checked, but the game is. The game is going to be disgusting.
Wouldn't
we
you
got
set
Joe Flacco out there?
Didn't you set that chart with all the Browns like sack leaders and stuff on that? You that set that chart last night?
Yeah, Myles Garrett has 13 and nobody else has more than like 3.
Yeah, it's like just put three guys on that guy. Just block it. Just try to eliminate him. You should be all right.
Yeah. Do we think, considering what Jake Browning did on Monday Night Football, that the Cleveland Browns, Joe Flacco, who loves to throw it 45 times a game, I mean, could Flacco rack up the passing yards in this thing?
I couldn't believe Flacco could still spin that pill that many times, man. Straight off the couch, just out there slinging that rock around. I like seeing it, bro. You can't tell me he gives you any worse chance than like DTR or PJ Walker out there, or even Deshaun Watson, for that matter. Yeah. Flacco, a resurgence, man.
Oh, wow. His attempts are only 30.5. Maybe that's weather related. I don't know. Ari, do you have anything on this game? I don't even barely want to watch it.
First, I want to say shout out, Chris. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So on this game, I mean, what I noticed was the Browns opened up at plus 2.5, and it quickly flipped to minus 2.5 on solid money. So the signals are saying the Browns, even with Trevor Lawrence playing, but I don't know. I'm not buying it yet.
Yeah, this Trevor Lawrence, they say, is a game-time decision. I listened to Dr. Chow say that if it was a playoff game, he'd absolutely play, but it's not as bad as we think. We hear the words high ankle sprain, and we think 4 to 6 weeks, but he says that's not the situation here. There's no break or fracture or anything.
Our boy Brian over at Injured Podcast, I talked to him the other day about it, and he was like, look, he could, if he has to play, he can play. If you don't have to play him, then you don't play him. But if he's got to play, he'll play. Okay.
Well, they're in a division race. I'd say he has to play. He's lucky Myles Garrett only has 1.5 arms right now.
Yeah, weather looks like it's going to be about 41, 15-mile-an-hour wind, 25-mile-an-hour gusts, but it looks like about a 55% chance of precipitation right there. So they talk about some snow showers maybe later this evening and stuff. So it's not going to be great weather by any means.
That's pretty windy.
Yeah, that's real windy.
Yeah, real windy. You know, the other interesting thing is the total. It went from 40 to 34 on level 1 money. So I'd say if the money holds, I'm going to play the under. I mean, with all the wind, I don't think there's going to be that many points scored. So I'd play the under if the money holds, but I'm not going ham here.
Hey, just so you know, Ari, on BetUS, which is the site that I use because we suck in Wisconsin and we didn't ever legalize gambling yet. I have watched the line since I sat down at about 7:15 this morning, go from 34.5 to 35, just jumped to 35.5 while you were talking.
What? Oh, wow.
Well, it was
You're
all
on top
the
of
way,
it.
it went all the way down to 30.5 earlier in the week. We were doing the morning show one morning when the Trevor Lawrence stuff. It went all the way down to 30.5. Now it's all the way back up to 35.5. So I think I got to stay away from the under here.
So what does that tell you,
Yeah.
Ari? Because that's significant. These are big swings since we've just been sitting here.
I would say it's a little iffy right now, so I probably wouldn't play it.
The problem is
I'd pass.
when Ari opens her mouth, she moves lines. So if you're not watching this show, you're behind the 8 ball.
You got to be on top of it. Good morning from Florida.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing today?
Oh,
Hey, E-Man, your first question is on the screen. Start 3, half PPR. Brees Hall, Tony Pollard, Rashee Rice, Javonte Williams. I always like to say that's Eric's guy. He was 2 years too early on. Also have Jerick McKinnon with Pacheco missing. Thanks.
That makes it interesting.
That does make it interesting. That makes it fun.
No. I know Brees Hall is a little banged up, but how can you not go with the only offense the Jets have? I think I like Brees. I like Rashee Rice as well. Man, and the other one's
with no Pacheco, Rashee Rice could be more necessary as well.
That's where I like Rashee Rice. He's isn't he the leading receiver after Kelsey overall?
Yeah,
targets also and receiving yards. So I like that. And let's go with Pollard, man. Those are the 3. In my book.
You can't sit Tony Pollard, despite the fact that he's facing the Philadelphia Eagles. He's the RB1 for one of the best offenses in the league.
I think they're gonna try to start with him to kind of ease up into Dak's passing game. But it's a big game, and I think Dallas is gonna come in firing all cylinders. They're gonna try to kick the animal while he's wounded after last week's shellacking by the San Francisco Niners on the Eagles. So
man, we get some great football games today.
I don't know what the fuck you did, Ari, but now that line is at 36. It just moved up again.
Oh wow. Well, that's interesting. I'll definitely
floodgate.
Wow, I'd definitely keep my eye on this game.
Yeah. It's moved a couple points since 7 o'clock. 7:15.
Stay away.
Stay away.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Just stay
pack
away.
up your picnic basket and find another park.
It ain't even gonna be that fun. It ain't even gonna be that fun to watch, man. So don't invest a bunch of money in that thing.
No. It's
They're
gonna
assuming
be
he's gonna go on Sports Center, but who the hell? Oh yeah.
That's a no-play game, but the Lawrence probably playing news is pushing it back up. Yeah, you're probably right about that, man. That line went down to 30.5 because they assumed he wasn't going to play and it was going to be C.J. Beathard. And now you've got some rumblings that he's probably going to be a game-time decision, all this stuff. But even if he gets out there, he's not going to be 100%. He could barely walk down the tunnel last week, man. He had to be helped down the tunnel last week. So no way he could be 100% in that short amount of time. It's even been a short week. He played Monday Night Football, so he hadn't even had a full week's rest. So even if he does play, he's going to be banged up right there.
Well, how banged up is Myles Garrett? That's a deal.
He's got a pectoral thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
God, he's a tough dude, though. He might he'll rip his own helmet off and beat you to death with it.
Yeah, he's gonna he's proven that. Craig Lennox says your show helps me out. I switched Hill for Ingram. My tight end Hill was projected more than Ingram. Yeah, keep an eye on those injury reports.
Yeah.
And
make sure it plays.
But depends on what fucking platform you're using for your projections, because sometimes they are ESPN kind of sucks. I'm just going to be honest with you. You get them closer on Sleeper or some of the other sites, but ESPN is so generic. They're not. Those projections are awful.
Hey, do y'all like Sleeper? This is kind of the first year.
I love it.
I love Sleeper, man.
I love everything Sleeper.
I'm trying
how Coach is, but
yeah. What's up, Coach? I haven't seen Coach in a while, man. Look at that. How you doing?
Hey,
bro?
how's it going?
Good.
Heather's happy you're here. You got a whole fan club, Elio.
That's right.
You were on Heather's show, weren't you?
Yes. A few months ago. She's awesome, dude. Heather is the bomb, bro.
She is great people. Well, should we Rams at Ravens. Ravens -7. Totals 39.5. I think the Rams are going to win this game the Ravens are going to win this game by 10
Yeah.
points.
All right, where's the money coming in on this thing? I didn't know about this because I like the Ravens in this game, but I want to know about the money.
Rams plus 275 on the money line. They want us to bet that so bad.
Yep.
I actually don't really see any money on the spread, but there is super weak money on the under 39.5 in the total.
A lot of weak money,
So-
you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I feel like Vegas wants you to bet over, so I would be thinking under here. I also like Stafford under 31.5 passing attempts because the Ravens are good at pressuring the passer.
They are. Okay. And I was doing my sacks research last night, as one does, and I see that Madubuike. Boy, there's some crazy names. He is the team leader in sacks, and they have him at plus 250 to get over half a sack. So I took that. I also took Yaya Diaby of the Buccaneers to get over half a sack. Yeah.
I like that, man.
You know what I like about this line here? I mean, the only thing I might look here, if I bet anything on the game, apart from the under, I think the under on 24 for the Ravens. You know what I mean? What do you think?
Under 24 team total points?
Yep.
You should probably be okay there. With the total sitting at 39.5, and they ain't really expecting nobody to get to too much over. Nobody get 24 right there. Not with a line sitting at 7.5. I mean, so I think you're all right with that. It's probably going to be a lower scoring game. I don't know though. I'm always leery about betting a team total under when Lamar Jackson's the quarterback because you never know what's going to happen.
Well, he's been up and down. He's playing probably one of the most efficient years of his career, right? You know what I'm saying? He's not overdoing it. 13 is running. He's at like 18 total touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's not asking to do too much because they have a little more pieces. So that's why I think the conservativeness of the offense this year, as opposed to other years, kind of throws me off a little bit every time I want to go with team total or, for that matter. But 24 seems a bit high for the way they've been playing offensively.
I think
Lamar beats up these NFC teams too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Eric. I think I'm just setting the Ravens and forgetting. You look when the Lions came down to town back earlier in the year, another NFC team that was playing well comes down there and gets beat 38-6.
Yeah.
Lamar goes off, so Lamar does beat up on NFC teams. It wasn't somebody said yesterday his record like 17-1 or something against these NFC teams or something. So the first time they see Lamar, they don't know really how to handle him, how to contain him, and I think he's going to have a big day today.
Chris D says bad weather in Baltimore also. Yeah.
So anytime TD for Lamar sounds about right.
I like it.
He's going to have a big day.
I like it.
Maybe that's what we should focus on, throwing it in there.
I like it.
Does anybody believe that Isaiah Likely is going to step in and be half the tight end that Mark Andrews was? Because we all think he's going to, and then he comes out and catches like 4 balls for 28 yards.
He'll block as good as Andrews.
He's a different type of tight end than Mark Andrews, though, man. He can get out there in some of those swing routes, some of those shorter plays in space and stuff like that. He's a quicker guy, not quite as big. So maybe you lose a little bit on the blocking aspect, but he's a guy that can really make some plays in space. And if they get the ball in his hands and involve him more in that offense, I think that guy can do some things, man.
I'm looking at Lamar rushing yards. Chris says he likes those. I happen to agree. Over under rushing yards. What do we think it's going to be? Probably around.
We look at it.
Lamar Jackson, 49.5. Yeah, I expect this up in the 50s.
Got him at 49.5 on DraftKings as well.
That's good stuff. Keaton Mitchell, 46.5. I mean, he could get that in one rush.
No, put it this way. I'm looking at BetUS. If you take the escalator, 50 plus is minus 120, 60 plus 104.
Hop on the escalator. It is Christmas shopping season.
Right.
149 plus 70 if he gets wild. Which he's done this a few times this year already. He's hit 70 rushing yards every once in a while.
Yeah, you know what? Lamar, most rushing yards in the game might not be a bad look. I wonder if they offer that.
Yeah.
I bet they do.
You just got to be careful. Kyron Williams has been going off lately too, though.
That dude is good. And Sean McVay, he jokingly said that he drafted him to his fantasy team, but is that true? Is that false? Who knows? Maybe he did.
Hey, man,
Kyron
any-
Williams.
That's insider trading, man.
Yeah,
That's what that
anytime TD plus 129 on Bet US. I mean, I'm actually gonna. When I do my parlay, one of my parlays today, I'm throwing him on an anytime TD for sure. I like those.
Kyron Williams and Zach Moss are the two favorites for most rushing yards in the 1 p.m. games. I like to do these once in a while. I see Justin Fields all the way down here at plus 705.
Lock it in, bro.
That.
I like that.
I do love the prop bets. All right, that game's exhausted. Bucks at Falcons in a divisional bout. The Falcons lay 1.5 probably just because they're at home. Total is 41 even. Ari, what's the money doing on this divisional game between the Bucks and the Falcons with Desmond Ridder back in the captain's chair?
Well, today for one of my props, I like quarterback Ritter under 1.5 touchdowns.
Okay.
And I also like Jonnu Smith over 1.5 receptions.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Half? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have two props here, one over, one under. So adding a nice little mix. And on the total here, it started at 40 and now it's currently sitting at 41 on level 2 money. But Vegas, they're acting very lethargic. So
Great use
I'd
of the
say
word.
I'd say either go under or better yet, just pass. I don't really have a play in this game other than my props.
I have a
Nobody-
couple
Go ahead.
correlated prop parlays here. I have Ritter rushing yards with Yaya Diaby sack because I figure the pass rush is going to push the quarterback to run. And then I have the same with Josh Allen and Mahomes. I think they're both facing a solid pass rush that's going to make them run. Chris says if I don't choke, it ain't good.
Cricket,
Yeah.
you don't like your Bucks at plus 2.5 here, bro?
Man, I'm staying away from this. It's always a funny game when we play in division like this. We played them a few weeks ago down in Tampa. They wound up getting us 16-13. We shouldn't even have had a chance in that thing. Antonio Winfield Jr. made a hell of a play at the end of the game, punching that ball out through the end zone on Desmond Ridder when he should have had his second rushing touchdown. So it's a weird game. Always plays weird in division. It does tend to seem like the visiting team tends to fare better in these games right here. So the line's gone down. I think I saw it at plus 2.5 most of the week, down to plus 1.5 on DraftKings right now. Total, like Ari said, has gone up just a little bit right there to 41, but we told you 16-13 the last game we played just a few weeks ago, so be careful going over right there. I don't know. It's probably a stay away from me. Every time I take my Bucks, man, they get beat, so I got to just stay away, I think.
Chris D off to walk the dogs and represent Woo. We shall see you here next week. Thanks for joining us. Love it. Craig says, U.S. is strange in Canadian football. We only have 3 downs. Field is a different size. Yeah, we tried to play a preseason game up there once, and it went awry.
Yeah.
Somebody hit the goalpost. No, it's
Yeah, I think that was a Packers game. They refused to play it.
Oh man, I don't get the goalpost like in the front of the the goal line right there.
Yeah, whoever thought that was a good idea?
I mean, right in the middle, man. You know, the tush push would never work in Canadian football, man. You know what I'm saying, dude?
No, yeah, you cut that shit out real in a hurry.
Didn't you guys do a mock-up?
I'm like 3
didn't
downs.
you draw this thing up at all? Coach, what do you think about this Falcons-Bucks game? Is your guy Bijan going to be able to do something against this Tampa run defense?
I do like Bijan today. I think there's other better games on the board.
Yeah,
I like the Bijan pick though. I was trying to do an underdog here. I was looking at what they've got him going on here, and I don't know. I think there's some better selections.
Tampa Bay defense is giving up the quarterback pass yards and the wide receiver receiving yards, tight ends, slot receivers. You can throw it all over the yard on these guys. Maybe Kyle Pitts has a reasonable football game today. I've given up on it.
Don't you do
But,
it.
yeah.
Don't you bet anything on fucking Kyle Pitts. Don't you dare.
Eric is one loyal SOB, bro.
I'll tell you, I tried.
He is this dude. I'm telling you, bro. If I ever own the company, I want you to work for me, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because you are one loyal individual. He has not let go of Kyle Pitts. 98% of fantasy football world, the rest of the NFL. Even his whole family has given up on freaking Kyle Pitts. Eric is still there believing in this man.
Hey, he won't
God
let
bless
you
you,
trade
brother.
for him either. I've tried to do that too. He won't even. It's a no talk deal.
Non-negotiation.
Yeah.
Loyalty,
Well, he's-
bro.
A non-starter.
You
he's
can't
doing you
buy
a
that
favor.
loyalty.
He's doing you a favor. If he won't let you trade for that fool, it's okay. It's not Kyle Pitt's fault. It's because he's in fucking Atlanta and he's in that just disgusting offense. They won't throw him the ball. Whatever. Guy's a freak and they won't throw him the ball. Yeah,
he's only 23 years old. He's a year younger than Dalton Kincaid.
It feels like he's 45. It feels like they put that many years on him down there.
Yeah. You should take your Pitts money and put it all on Ferguson.
It does.
I
They
agree.
Make that man block. They make him block.
No,
way
put
too
on
much.
Cole Kmet.
You got a lot of other good options. I'll say that.
I mean, Desmond Ridder passing yards, if you're feeling brave, might be a bold move.
Yeah, it's.
You got to
What do
parlay
you
that
think?
with Kyle Pitts
I don't-
anytime touchdown?
Correlation. Vikings at Raiders. Raiders getting 3 at home against the Vikings. Devontae Adams, no stranger, playing the Minnesota Vikings. The total is 40.5. I think we could see more than 40.5 points in this one, Ari. Do you agree? Or am I crazy? Is my money stupid or sharp?
Well, it is the Vikings versus the Raiders. I mean, this is this is a fun game for me because it's in Las Vegas, right? So I mean, it's fun like seeing a game being played in your hometown. The Raiders, there is level 1 money for the Raiders, and I think the sports books, they're leaning hard towards the Vikings. So if they could push the Vikings past -3 here, hitting -3.5, I'd say it's a Vikings play. And on the total, I mean, there's level 1 money pushing the under, but I'm going to pass here.
Josh Dobbs can't possibly be as bad as he was last time, can he, Coach? Oh no, Coach is muted. There's Pretzel. What does Pretzel
said,
think?
Josh Dobbs is probably rushing over. That's what he
I
thinks.
like that. Pretzel's a smart dog.
Yep, that came from the top, man. Lock that in.
That's a perfect name
Aw.
for that dog too.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
so cute.
I wanted to name him Chewbacca when we first got him, but the family kind of vetoed it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, no, Pretzel. Said Chewy. Chewbacca, because he was like so fluffy when he first got him. All right, buddy, go away.
Oh, I love that. Is Pretzel a poodle?
He's Bichon Poodle.
Oh, I love it.
Bichon Poodle.
I love it. I have a little
Hypoallergenic.
poodle.
Yeah, hypoallergenic because everybody's allergic to dogs in the household. So it's like,
Oh
have to.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Brees Hall or Derrick Henry? What do you think, Cricket? I think Derrick Henry. Again, my
I
loyalty
don't know. Be
shining
careful
through.
with Derrick Henry. They're going on the road, man. They don't run him on the road.
that's
right. Yeah.
They're going to give him like 8 carries. He's going to have 23
Dude.
yards, no touchdowns, probably 1 catch for 6 yards or something like that. So I just be careful with him. I'd probably, in this spot, I'd probably lean more toward Brees Hall. I think they're going to be in a closer game. They're going to have to give him some volume in that thing. I think the Titans might get blown out today, and they might just wind up letting Tajay Spears kind of run the show, especially with Derrick Henry having the Q tag with the concussion thing. Did y'all see how hard he got hit last week? People don't
Yeah,
hit Derrick Henry like that, man.
No.
So too many question marks for Derrick Henry for me this week.
Yeah, that is fair.
I
That is
think
fair.
Tajay Spears also, he might be a little more. I mean, he's always involved in the passing game. So I would look at Tajay Spears' receiving props to see how that looks.
I think Tajay Spears is the future of running back in Tennessee.
Oh,
Yep.
he is. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think they've
Yeah.
said that. I mean, I think that they've shown you that all year. They're trying to pass the torch to the guy. I mean, Henry's so good, but there's an expiration clock on that. I mean,
Oh, man.
you can't play the game at that level and do what he does as physical as he does it for a long period of time. It's just Father
No.
Time's undefeated on that.
Yeah, man. It's
Especially-
just too hard to put that kind of toll on your body year in, year out. The way they run that guy, he spent the first 6-7 years of his career 25, 30 carries a game. I don't care who you are. It's not human nature to be able to sustain that and be able to deal with that over the course of time.
You guys,
and you're right.
You guys ever see a guy named Earl Campbell?
Mhm.
Look at him now. Look what he looks like. I mean, his hot links are amazing, by the way. but he's a tough dude. I mean, even just having interviews with him, he's got beat to tarnation, and he's the most equivalent to a Derrick Henry
I think
in
so,
his
yeah.
era that I can think of. He was just physically dominating, and you just have a shelf life. But
Yeah, for sure.
I was on DraftKings today. I'm looking at I'm kind of leaning towards the under at 54 yards rushing on Henry.
I like going under on the road
that.
with him.
I like that a lot because I think Spears is going to drive the bus.
And I think last time they were on the road, they were down in Jacksonville, and his total was set right about the same. It was like 55.5, went down to 54.5. I think he wound up with like 31 or something on 7 or 8 carries. So, yeah, he didn't even come close to it last time.
Yep.
You know, I just wish that Derrick Henry can get a shot at another team, you know, a contender, because he still has not the miles that he had, you know, that forceful, impactful, you know, ground and pound that he has, because he's one of those rare breeds of running backs that no longer exist. I hope he gets a shot, man, next year, like Kansas City or something like that, man. Somebody that could use him, they could split time with. You know, even I don't know, a contender, because that dude deserves a championship, because he has been the offense for that team his entire career. You know what I'm saying?
Put him in Philly. Let him take the snap on that quarterback sneak play. You'll get 7 yards every time.
Right?
You never see an Alabama guy make it this deep in the league. Like,
Not to
usually
mention,
Saban has already beat that. Like, they've already been beat up at Alabama, because Saban used to run his running backs just all game. They didn't throw.
That's what people don't understand, man. He'd already had basically 2 years in the NFL, 2 or 3 years in the NFL at Alabama. He was getting 25, 30 carries a game there against NFL talent week in, week out.
And Saban just hands that rock off when he had Henry. He just never threw it.
You got Lacey when he first came in the league was a poor man's Henry. I mean,
he like Great Value brand or something, man.
Yeah.
Offensive Rookie of the Year 2014. You wouldn't believe it, but it did happen.
Yeah. It's just hard to sustain.
Then he tweeted about Chinese food, and we never saw him in shape again.
Ever.
I don't hate that guy, you know?
Right? He's just living his best life.
Hey, I can't disagree with his logic. All right, Seahawks at 49ers. 49ers laying 13.5, and I don't think I'm afraid to lay that 13.5. Minus 800 on the money line. If you're looking to launder money or something, you can just take San Francisco money line. Total's 45.5. Again, I feel like a sucker. Well, this is a divisional game. I almost like the over because I'm just thinking about all the offensive weapons in this game. I'm thinking about what A.J. Brown did to the 49ers last week, and I'm thinking that DK Metcalf could do some of those same things. And then obviously Ayuk is going to destroy the Seahawks or Debo or both. And then they have that running back too.
Some guy named McCaffrey.
Guy who's plus 220 for a first touchdown. You're pretty good at football.
Yeah, that's
when
crazy
that's your odds.
Yeah. This line's moved up too, man. It was at 10.5 earlier in the week. It's moved all the way up to almost 2 touchdowns. Anytime I see a line move that started in double digits, move almost to 2 touchdowns right there, I know the books aren't afraid of it. It looks like a lot of points to get in the NFL right here. A lot of people are like, nobody, 2 touchdowns in the NFL. I'm always betting against that. I'm always taking the favorite in that spot because that tells me Vegas thinks they're going to blow the doors off. And San Francisco has owned the Seahawks the last couple of years in all these matchups. And I'd be careful with that total going over. Was it 31-13, something like that, just a couple weeks ago? So be careful with that total. It's probably going to be right around that number. They're probably right on point with that one. But I like the 49ers to handle business right here. I don't see any way Seattle keeps us under 2 touchdowns.
Is Kenneth Walker playing? I know he was questionable pretty much the entire week, and he has some limited practice.
That's one of those things where they're probably going to come up to – you'll probably have to wait till 11:30 to find out for sure, about 90 minutes before. But even if he does, once again, how healthy is he? Zach Charbonnet's banged up too, so you got both of those guys there that are going to be banged up. The red zone offense for the Seahawks has been bad all year long, man. They can't seem to punch in. They can drive up down the field, but they can't punch it in. So
no, I mean, a garbage touchdown maybe, plus 200 for Kenneth Walker. That's kind of what I'm looking at. And DK plus 210, but who's going to be quarterbacking? Is Geno's also iffy as well? I think he's been banged up a week. Is he going to?
He's tough. He'll play.
Drew Lock.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want that.
I mean, don't be wrong. I mean, they'll probably knock Geno out the game if he's not healthy. That's 49 front line, dude. You saw what they did to Dak last week. To Jalen last week. Geno is like, the poor man's version here. So I think we got to see some injuries in this game, and it's not from the 49ers.
I agree, sir.
Yeah. Another thing to consider going back to that Raiders game with Josh Dobbs, if he turns it over early, he's probably getting benched. So just keep that in mind.
For
Because
who?
they were
Who
talking,
they bringing in? Mullins, Nick Mullins, or whatever.
Nick Mullins. They
Yeah,
got
yeah. That
they
seems like
got one
that seems like a
more.
better option. Yeah,
Yeah,
Kevin
Mullins
O'Connell.
run well.
These
Fucking
old school
Kevin.
coaches, they want to punish guys for fumbles, and it's like
Yep.
fumbles happen. You can't just bench a guy forever.
Yeah, it's
because
like,
he
hey, bro,
fumbled
my offensive
football.
line shit. I got drilled. Sorry, I dropped the ball.
Yeah, yeah.
Guys, we didn't talk about this, but going back to the Miami game, over or under? I mean, I think Miami is probably going to score 40 points on their own. I mean,
This is where this is Ari's section.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you
yeah.
think, Ari?
Actually, I like the over here. Yeah. The total opened at 44 and it moved to 46.5 on just level 1 money. So
Okay.
I would say if Vegas moved it to 47, this is go over right away. Yeah.
Mhm.
This is a
Nice.
solid play. Mhm.
Miami could score 47. in this
I'm
game.
actually look. This is the game that I probably focus on today, from picking a team and then picking some props here from the Miami side as well. 'cause,
Well, this game is
I mean,
tomorrow.
That's exactly. You got to wait till
Oh,
tomorrow on that one, Elio.
shit, I'm looking at-
Don't do it all today, man.
oh, damn it! I didn't realize it. I'm on my iPad today, guys. Sorry, you know what I mean. I'm doing the express setup.
That's fair. Yeah.
But yeah,
My-
I'm gonna go ham on that game tomorrow anyway.
Yes, sir.
I like this. I like this Tyreek receiving yards ladder. 130 plus 110, 140, 143, 150 plus 197. You get 180 plus 535. I think Tyreek is looking to do some real
so-
damage in his effort to get to 2,000 in this game
Well-
against a terrible pass defense. Ari, what were you saying?
I was going to say my best bet of the day is on the Niners at minus
Okay.
13
Nice.
and a half.
Makes me feel better about it. I like that.
You know
Yep,
what?
yep, me too.
Yeah, best bet of the day. All of my best bets have been hitting. So let's make it 14 for 14 and
Let's
Jump
go.
on that
I like
bandwagon.
it. I
I'm
like it.
jumping in the bandwagon. Let's go.
San Francisco 13.5. That's it.
yeah, that's
Okay.
it. Best bet of the day.
Don't parlay it with 11 other selections or anything like that. Just
No, no,
bet
no.
it straight
I'm
up.
already
But
in
it's
the
Well, I
great.
already did that.
I'm already looking at minus 16 plus 120. That's where I went right away. I was like,
Ooh,
well,
I
she
like that
loves
too.
13. It's probably going to be 17. And that's how I get myself in trouble. Just do what the smart people say. Sometimes you don't always have to put your own spin on it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's-
That's right.
I'm
Just
a little
set it and
different
forget
on this. I like to look at the early window, late window kind of deal. You know, I mean, I know we kind of jump all over and we go down the list there, but like, I know we've covered some of these, but I'd like to kind of come back to the early window if we can, real quick, just to, and then I'll
Bring it
I'll
on
let
back,
you
Coach.
go.
We can
what
do
you
whatever
say,
we
man.
want.
Bring it on back. We talk about whatever you want to talk about, man.
Well, I mean, we kind of covered it a little bit. We went, if we could just run through it real quick on the early window. I know you guys were on the, you know, the Colts pretty hard, and then you were guys under on Houston and the Jets, and then we talked Jacksonville, Cleveland briefly. You guys, I kind of like Cleveland on this, but what do you guys think on that? We never really
I think so too. I think either a hobbled Trevor Lawrence or a backup quarterback, neither is going to go into Cleveland and win that football game.
Yeah, I agree with you there too, man. I think even Trevor Lawrence, we obviously know he's not going to be 100% right there. You go into one of the better defenses in the league this year and has been really, really good playing in Cleveland too. You got some weather. You got a Florida team coming up that's not really used to playing in colder weather and things like that. And, you know, even if Trevor Lawrence does go, he could get knocked out in the first series right there, and you could be dealing with C.J. Beathard the rest of the game. And you saw what that looked like last Monday
It's
night.
only a point and a half. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
you know, I think that's pretty weak stuff. And then you got, and I wasn't real clear on what you guys were talking about on Tampa Bay and Atlanta. We talked all around it, but we never did say what you guys liked.
I'm glad you're here, Coach.
Yeah,
I'm
Tampa
just-
Bay.
I'm just an early window cat, and then we'll
That's
see
fair.
what the late window looks like.
Tampa Bay, I'm staying away from, man. I don't have a choice in that. Like I said, anytime I pick my Buccaneers, they lose. I feel like that's
Yeah.
probably the way to go to lean in this one. These teams tend to split games, and Atlanta's already 1-1 down in Tampa Bay this year. And Tampa Bay had a chance to win that game late. So I just think it feels like a Buccaneer spot for me, but I'm staying away in this thing, man.
What about
Ari,
Carolina?
do you
and the
like a
Saints,
side
and then
on
I'll
that?
leave it alone.
What's that?
I just said Carolina and the Saints, the only one left in the morning window, and then I'll leave y'all alone.
You can bet that one if you hate money. You just pick a side, you flip a coin, but I wouldn't invest too many of my coupons on that game.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
All right, what you got on? You're not betting those either, are you?
Mm-mm.
Hey, Joe
Yeah.
Flacco, 2 touchdowns.
Tampa, I'm not crazy about it. And then on the Saints, yeah, I'm passing on that one too. I do like Kamara over 4.5 receptions. I think it's going to be over 4.5 receptions on a big passing game. And then on Tampa, I like quarterback Ritter under 1.5 touchdowns, and Jonnu Smith, the tight end, over 1.5 receptions here.
I like it. Ritter passing yards just 198.5. Just no respect. And what has he done?
He's been under that a few times this year, more than over.
Yes, I'm looking at his games. He's got 329, 307 against Houston and Washington, but then 71 yards against Tennessee. He must have got pulled. 168 against New Orleans and 121 against the Jets. Yikes. Rushing, he does run a little bit, though. I feel like over 23.5 rushing yards, or 22.5. That's where I went. I believe we're in the afternoon window at this point. Hang on. I'm still on Tampa and the
Hey, while he's looking that up, I just got one other question. You guys don't have any problems laying the 7.5 if you're taking Rams? I mean, you're taking the Ravens over the Rams. 7.5 doesn't scare you at all.
Nah, 10.5 would, but I think they win by 10.
I got you.
I'm not playing this one.
Uh-oh.
I like the stay away approach that Cricket and Ari bring to the show.
Yeah.
Like we want to bet every single box we can check.
And they remind us that you don't have to.
No, you don't have to do that. Actually, you can just not bet it.
I do like Stanford under 31.5 passing attempts.
Yep.
The Ravens
get knocked out of this game. You could win it that way.
Coach, the reason that 7.5 doesn't scare me that much in the Ravens is because actually it's gone down to 7 now, so we got to be careful. Damn it, DraftKings. But if it gets to 6.5, you would think you feel better about taking or giving the 6.5 right there because the touchdown gets it for you. But the books know that too, man. So you got to be careful when it gets down through those key numbers right there. If it moves down to plus 6.5, I'll probably just stay away. But as long as it stays at 7 or higher, I'm gonna take the Ravens.
The early window is a nice warm up, and then we get in the late window we get Bills Chiefs, and then tonight we get Eagles Cowboys. That's beautiful. Let's get into this Bills Chiefs game at 3:25 p.m. Central Standard Time. Chiefs minus 1.5. It was 1 yesterday. Total's 49. I love the Bills, unless Ari, where is the money on this game? Does everybody love the Bills? Because then I don't.
I'm passing on this game. I think the total is
that's downright
not really doing anything. I think I just don't see the spread going anywhere. I do like Jerick McKinnon over 2.5 receptions because I think this is going to be a pass-oriented game for Kansas City.
Yep.
And I mean, the Chiefs aren't going to roll over and die here, but like I said, this is going to be a pass-oriented game for Kansas City.
This isn't, I mean, these Chiefs are still searching for an offensive identity. This is not the Chiefs teams we've been watching for years and years. Yeah, Jerick McKinnon receiving yards is just 20.5. He's going to get that.
I think you're going to see a big bounce back game from Mahomes right here. His record when he's given up 3 points or less right here is 27-1 against the spread. When giving up 3 points or less, he lost the last one that he played when he had a chance to do that right there. I was all over him in that game, and they wound up losing that thing straight up right there. So I look for the Chiefs to bounce back in a big way in this spot right here. I think everybody's going to expect the Bills to be playing much better. The Bills season kind of on the line right here, so you got to be careful there. But I think playing the Chiefs in Arrowhead the week after they played so bad up there in Green Bay, I think you're going to see the Chiefs bounce back in a big way today. I'm on the Chiefs right here.
I like the Chiefs too. I mean, Mahomes bounces back even with a bad, receiving core that he has this year. And I think Jerick McKinnon is going to be the surprise because he did this last year too. Remember, McKinnon stepped in for starter once, I believe. Pacheco went down as well. And I think remember CEH, he's non-existent regardless of the fact whether he's going to be the starting, right? Because I think they made him the first snap guy. I think who's going to start starting running back. I think McKinnon is going to get all the snaps here, man. And I think he's going to have a big day. And Mahomes and Andy Reid include him in a lot of goal line situations. You know. So
His-
I even like him as a anytime touchdown kind of candidate too. If you want to get crazy with a wild parlay, you know what I mean, a 3-legger or something,
Plus-
high returns.
Plus 150. So the books are on to it. His
Mhm.
receiving yards 41 plus 145, 51 plus 260, 61 plus 459. I wouldn't go much higher than that.
No.
But
I think I'll stay
61
with
I
the
think
50.
is in the realm of possibility.
I really like that over 2.5 reception now for Jarrett McKinnon that Ari talked about,
Mhm.
because I mean
You
you
can
look,
have that at halftime.
yeah, because Pacheco will still be involved in that passing game someone he plays, but CEH does not get involved in that
No.
passing game at all. They give him that 3 yards in a cloud of
Mhm.
dust, so all the
Mhm.
passing down should go to McKinnon. So yeah, I really like that over 2.5 receptions too. That's a good call, Ari.
Thank you.
Yep. Dr. Bryan says McKinnon is the guy to use primarily on passing plays. So beautiful. We are onto something there.
Yeah, McKinnon is my guy.
Do you have any wacky, crazy 7-leg parlay for this game, Chris? This seems like it's primed for that.
Yeah, bring it in, man.
No, I actually I don't. I have a few teasers out, but it's just what we talked about. And then I have my only really fun parlay is on during the Green Bay game.
Are you sick?
Are you feeling all
You
right?
haven't put. What do you want me? You haven't put your lines out yet. What do I even
fair
go
enough.
off? I don't even have the concrete base to start building my house.
That's fair. I'll get them to you by noon, sir.
Yeah. And then I'll fucked up and lost by fucking 3.
Singletary or
Except
CH?
I have
and
learned
Scotty
that I
Fishbowl?
first I bet them all exactly straight how you say. Then I go to the playground with them.
That's right.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Scott Fishbowl has some weird scoring settings, so you will have to enlighten us. But
What is
I worry
SFC?
about
What
starting
is that?
CEH. Devin Singletary or Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Scotty Fishbowl settings. They have different
Familiar.
different scoring in there. I've yet to get in.
Yeah, I'm not
So
familiar.
we have an invite for next year, Eric. If you want to take it, we had one last year. I didn't know what it was, and I didn't give a. I was so busy. But you have one next year if you want in there.
Nice. Yeah, that'll be fun. I mean, I'm not sure exactly how it
This
works,
year
Ben.
for me was all about bringing the belt back to Wisconsin. Nothing
You're
else.
well on
mattered.
your way to that.
Nothing else mattered. And I feel like I'm getting juked over there. I don't care. I'm still coming like through a brick wall. That
Step
belt's
1,
coming
draft
home.
Christian McCaffrey. Step 2, profit.
Win.
Right, yeah. Set to win.
You forget the season starts over in the playoffs.
It
Tell him,
does.
coach. That's right.
You
It's
can
a whole new
start over
season.
every week. I still
You-
win.
You can be the 1 seed and you
Yep.
get in the playoffs and still not win. I don't know if
Yeah,
they
dude.
explained
Facts.
that to you.
Facts.
6 seed, 1 seed, same tournament.
Tell him, coach.
All right.
Most
Tell
of
him,
my
Coach.
championships, I've lived in. Most of my championships, I've won like 5 different leagues in my lifetime, and
They don't,
it's been like
only,
7-7.
only sport they hand out a trophy for the regular season ends hockey, man.
Amen.
Yep.
Amen.
And you don't want
And
that.
9 times out of 10, the guy that leads it doesn't win.
That's what I say.
I mean-
President's Trophy winner don't usually hoist the Stanley Cup. I don't see that a
Exactly
whole
right.
lot.
Nope.
Exactly right.
Well, there's 8 people in this tournament, and I got a shot at winning because I found myself.
You
a
got-
seat
you-
at the
I mean,
table.
You got a 1 in 8
Talking
shot.
shit, but I'm coming.
You got a 1 in 8 shot. I'm just saying.
That's right. The lines are accurate.
12.5%.
I mean, I'm going to tell you right now that I think that you don't draft your team in August to win the regular season. I mean, if you're doing that, I mean, congrats.
He's talking shit.
You did
He
it.
knows I'm gonna win.
World's best cup of coffee.
We even had a last minute trade, Fields for Josh Allen,
Well,
and then they benched Fields.
He got hurt.
The only guy that could touch me
Oh, dude,
had Josh Fields.
won't
That's
won't
his
help either
quarterback.
one of y'all.
definitely. Hey, to answer
It
the
was
fantasy
janky.
joker, go with Singletary.
Yeah, I think so.
Singletary.
Go with Singletary. That's the case. He just gave us a little scoring breakdown instead
Yep.
of CEH.
Yep.
I'll tell you.
Yeah,
Even if they're playing the Jets, go to Singletary. CEH
Yeah, if
is.
McKinnon gets going, they're not going to bench him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought
CEH.
the sure thing was the Chargers absolutely having an offense, and they just don't.
They do not. That's our next one. Great segue, Coach. Broncos
There you
at
go.
Chargers. Chargers laying 3 at quote unquote home.
Guys,
Total is
I'm going to get out.
45.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for joining us, Coach.
All right, Coach.
They're
Be
all
good now,
lost
man.
up
all
on
you
the
got.
early
Peace out,
window.
Coach. Good seeing you, buddy.
Enjoy
luck
your
today,
hot
sir.
links.
Thank
and
you.
or
I need it.
biscuits. Broncos at Chargers. Cricket, what do you think of this one? I think Broncos because I don't believe in the Chargers ever.
Yeah, I don't either, man. I don't either. I've been screaming for Brandon Staley's head for a while now. I thought he should have been gone for a minute. The Broncos kind of let me down last week. Had a chance to win that thing down in Texas in the end against the Texans. Russell Wilson threw 3 picks. I look for a bounce back game from him in this one, man. The Chargers go up to New England last week and win that disgusting baseball game that they played 6-0 or whatever it was. And that's garbage. I mean, that's just absolute garbage right there. And I look for the Broncos to try to bounce back right here. They've been on that little 5-game winning streak. They played much better since the first month of the season. I think Russell Wilson needs a bounce back game today after throwing those 3 picks, basically getting them beat last week. And I just don't have any faith in the Chargers right here. You talked about the home field advantage. That is not for the Chargers. Probably going to be more Broncos fans in that thing than Charger fans. I just look for Denver to have a big bounce back right here, man.
And I like Anytime TD by Cortland Sutton.
Yep.
I
He's
tell
the
you
guy,
what, that
bro.
dude, man, that dude has quietly been an anytime touchdown monster this year. I don't know if it's just because every time I bet him, he actually gets it done.
Man.
Because I haven't bet him every week, but every time I bet that guy, he's a lock, it feels like.
I
He is
traded
insane.
him for like a 2nd-round pick over the summer. I mean, I don't even remember what I got for him. It was so little.
And I don't hate that at that time, man. Nobody really saw that coming in. You didn't have any reason to believe the Broncos offense was going to be anything after what you saw out of them last year. So I think you were okay trading any of those guys away for anything. But
I said, I drafted Marvin Mims. I got the guy. I might as well get rid of this Cortland Sutton bum.
Cortland Sutton quietly having a good year, man. If he could stay,
Yeah,
you know, he's had some banged up injury issues in the past, but if he stays healthy, he's a very competent wide receiver in the NFL.
Mims anytime touchdown is plus 400 today. I don't know. The Chargers are the kind of team.
Has a TD 4 of the last 5 games. He scored a touchdown.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And he's making unbelievable plays to get him. Too.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
yep. So I mean, same catches. And even if you want to mess around with the receiving yards, I don't know what the receiver, but he gets over 50, and I think you might be able to parlay receiving yards. And I don't know so much about receptions because you're right. Last week he only had 2 receptions for 77 yards, but he caught that touchdown, so a deep bomb. But he's also become a red zone target for Russell as well, even when they're in the red zone there, not just in deep shots.
Yep. I think he sees him as his Denver DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I think so.
What's this game doing in Vegas, Ari? Denver and the Chargers. What does the money look like on this one in Vegas?
Denver versus the Chargers. Well, there's marginal Denver money, but the line isn't moving. So perhaps Vegas is weakly leaning towards the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's crazy.
the total is pretty much dead. So nothing going on there.
They don't want to have to invest too much in this one, probably, man. It's going to be an ugly game. It's way up in the air right there. So, what are you thinking on this one, Elio? What do you have on this one? You like the Chargers? Do you have a side other than just Cortland Sutton?
Man, I just like Cortland Sutton here, and probably look at the go with Keenan Allen. Also,
Okay, yeah.
anytime touchdown.
You got to look at Keenan Allen, man. The season that guy's having, you got to have him in there somewhere, man.
I think I probably go. I haven't looked at the props, but I might look at some reception props, probably over in receptions and also yards. And and anytime touchdown. That's what I'm gonna look at. In this game, I'm just gonna go props, man. I think I'm definitely, for me, a lock is Cortland Sutton plus 129. I mean, he's gonna be something I'm gonna slice him in somewhere. You know me, man. I'm a fool. I only bet parlay, so I try to look for the most high end ones I can. Yeah. I'll be throwing 5 down today, so.
I understand, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Good little payouts right there on those things.
I am a bookie's biggest sucker. So hey, that's how I get my adrenaline going.
I understand. It sounds like they got some running back issues out there in LA too, though. I mean, they're talking about Eckler maybe being.
I'm not touching Eckler, man. He's disappointed all season long.
Yeah.
He used to be an anytime touchdown machine, and you could go for 2+ sometimes. He has just completely disappointed. From a betting standpoint and fantasy wise too, man. I think he's kind of, I don't know, man. That was not a good move re-signing that cheaply this year, but he's done.
Yeah, I think so, man. He's up there in years.
Yep.
You'll have that. Deep dive in the tight ends. Did you guys just hit this one?
Nope.
Did
not yet.
Tucker Kraft, the Green Bay Packers now tight end 1 with Musgrave out, I believe, or Isaiah Likely, the Baltimore Ravens tight end 1 with Mark Andrews out. The weather has me a little worried about Likely. Tucker Kraft scored his first touchdown last week. He's heating up. This offense uses the tight end. I'm biased.
Me
What do
too.
you think?
I'm way biased.
What do you think, Cricket?
I think in this spot right here, just because how I think the games are going to go today, I know Green Bay's been playing great. I've been riding that wave a little bit, but it feels like a weird game having to go play the Giants, who Elio's Giants are probably playing their best football right now. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But y'all are playing the best football you played so far right now with Danny DeVito's nephew out there running the show, man. So it feels weird to me. And I say Likely, I think with the bad weather, I've seen him get a lot of stuff involved in the short passing game right there. So maybe Lamar tries to get the ball out quick, some RPO stuff, things like that. So I think Likely is going to get some volume in this offense today. And I also think the Ravens are going to handle business against the Rams. So I just feel like there's going to be more opportunity for have some productive volume right there. So I think in that spot, I'll probably roll with Likely today.
Tell you what I did,
Likely.
Elio. Don't tell producer Chris, but I parlayed the Giants and the Broncos.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the move. You can't even live in Wisconsin anymore.
Hey, man.
You better go eat some cheese and hot ham sandwiches.
Yep. I haven't had. That's it. I haven't had hot ham and rolls in
15
a long
cheese
time.
curds and 13 hot cheese sandwiches or hot ham sandwiches to redeem yourself.
I stopped betting the Giants like 4 games ago, and then they started winning. So that tells you everything you need to know about that team.
Hey, you're having a rough year, bro. They lose when you want them to win. They win when you want them to lose.
I wanted to tank so bad, but it's not working that way. I mean, we got the dude that lives 9 miles away from the stadium. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for props to who, if they're going to show his parents again, tailgating, smoking a stogie and drinking some vodka, bro. I mean, I would love to see if they have that in Vegas somewhere. You know what I mean? I'm just in love with the dude's family. They remind me of my family.
I just want to hang out with them.
Hang out at the tailgate parties, bro. That's what I'm down with. That's a story I like, bro. I don't give a shit if he wins or loses. I want him to lose.
I want to hang out with
going
Tommy DeVito's dad and Tyler Bajan's dad.
Oh yeah,
here's
man.
what I got going on. This is the parlay. If you guys want a parlay put together, win some nice cash. We got Green Bay to win. Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers will score 1 or more touchdowns. I have Jaden Reed of the Green Bay Packers will score 1 or more touchdowns. I have Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants will score 1 or more touchdowns. And Tommy DeVito of the New York Giants will have over 0.5 passing interceptions. $5 get you $275. Well on the way.
Nice right there.
To a nice new 300 blackout barrel, maybe.
Hold on, I'm gonna throw a wild card in there, man. This guy has been playing. This guy's been getting some love. Let me see, receiving lately because of Tommy DeVito's resurgent here. Hey, your boy Jalen Hyatt receiving yards. Cricket.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that because they shouldn't be that high.
He loves that Jordan Hyatt.
Hey, Jalen, man, Jalen's the man.
Jalen Hyatt is a player, man.
Let me see here. I'm trying to get the hell is it. Anybody has it up?
I'm pulling it up too. Let's see.
I'm on my iPad, bro.
27.5 is minus 115 both ways for Jalen Hyatt.
Hey, I think the last 2 games he's blown that out of the water. You know
he usually only gets 2 or 3 catches, but he's able to catch one of them for 50 yards.
Exactly. Yeah. The last 2 games he's blown that out of the water.
Ari, are you on a side with Green Bay? Are you on Green Bay Packers, right? That's what you're on,
right? I know there are a lot of 2 sets on this podcast, but I'm actually not. I'm not picking against the Giants, and I'm not picking against the Packers. I personally, for me, I like the total here. It opened at 48.5, and now it's sitting at 37 on level 5 money. That's a whole lot of money. So I think that this is going to go under the whole way. Vegas agrees with the money, and they keep moving the total down. So under is definitely the play here.
Okay.
I don't like that.
I agree with her 100%, especially when it's the Giants offense. Everybody, Tommy DeVito can throw 4 touchdowns, and it's still going to be like a 21 to 15 game or something like that the other way.
Yep.
Probably right on. Probably right on it. That might be, you might want to bet that exacta score right there. That might pay out pretty good.
Tommy Cutlass, baby. Tommy Cutlass, bro. That dude's just living the dream. He just guaranteed himself a backup quarterback job somewhere in the league next year.
He did. Oh yeah. No, GMs are going to convince themselves for years that he could be a starter. Absolutely. Did we do? No, we didn't. We've been waiting all day for Sunday night. Philadelphia Eagles at Dallas Cowboys. Here's a respectable total. 51 and
big
a
one.
half. Cowboys minus 3.5 at
Ooh.
home. The Eagles off a horrific loss.
Ugh.
I mean, what are we going to see from the Philadelphia Eagles? I think we're going to see a pissed off, motivated team. Some people say Jalen Hurts is hobbled. I say it doesn't matter. There's a classic Dallas
Yeah.
choke spot. Eagles money line, right, Ari?
I think the Eagles plus 3.5.
Good enough.
I like
Yeah.
It's
Maybe I
gonna
should
get
just
chippy. It's gonna get chippy.
Oh, yeah.
But
This
they're
is-
in Dallas. But I think
minus 450. There's a fight in this game.
This is my favorite underdog of the day.
okay.
I mean, it moved from plus 2.5 to plus 3.5. And all the top players in Vegas right now are liking the Eagles. But the money's not showing. But I expect the Eagles to win just based on the caliber of the pros. But then again, I'm going to focus on the total here. Yeah. I'm going
What
to
do you
focus
like
on
the
the total
total?
here.
51.5. What do you think? Over or under? I mean, the last time they lit it up when they went to Philly.
I would play the over
Good.
100% because it moved from 48.5 to 51.5 on no money. That was purely Vegas moving a lineup. They want people to go under. They're trying to get all the squares to go under here. So play it with the sharps, go over. There isn't really much money on this. So like I said, it really is Las Vegas taking a stance here in this position. So play with the books.
Yeah, for sure. I like
This is
that.
good.
We're looking at 7 or 8 touchdowns in this one.
I
Wow, this is
could
pretty
see
good.
that. I could see that.
7 or 8 touchdowns. So you say, what do you think? Eagles over 6 touchdowns?
The Eagles over 6 touchdowns by themselves?
Total touchdowns, yeah. No, total touchdowns overall the game over 6 touchdowns.
Okay,
right?
okay. Yeah, I mean, I like that. I think they're going to score a bunch of points in this thing.
Hey, man, so let's what? No, hold on a second. I just parlay. I just built something real quick here.
So you want Swift in there, you want CD Lamb in there, you want to get you all of it.
Both tight
Goddard.
ends, Dallas Goddard and
Goddard.
Ferguson.
Look at
Yeah,
Goddard. Yeah, he'd be
Ferguson.
back.
Yep. Yeah, this offense is different and much better with Dallas Goddard in the lineup.
I agree.
This is a typical
have
Dallas game. You know that. You see, everybody's gonna probably say, "Oh, they're gonna kick the Eagles while they're down," but it's just as good as Dak Prescott has been playing. I think there's a disappointment game looming, and this is usually that script for Dallas. So, you know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
definitely going the Eagles side might be the best bet.
Chuck,
Yeah.
I did
Yeah,
not. Chuck, I just parlayed that. I'm not when she sounded that confident. I just went plus 160 on the money line in the over. Let's go.
And Chuck trusts her,
Yeah.
man. He said she's 13
Yeah.
on them underdogs. He gave her a shout out. So Chuck said he's all in, man. He's on the money line.
I'm on the money line too. I've watched it now.
I
That's
love
right.
it. I like the money line and the spread. So
There you
Yeah.
go.
hey,
Work
and the
both
total. I'm playing the over too.
Lock him in. There's your parlay,
This is
Chris.
this
There's
is
your
the
parlay.
That's a
It's gonna be
parlay
a
right
fun-
there. That's a
It's
parlay.
gonna be a really fun
No,
game.
I'm parlaying.
I'm just
I'm
kidding.
parlaying.
I don't
I'm
parlay.
parlaying 03.
I don't ever
I'm-
play parlays.
Listen, she
Yeah, no,
just like backtracks. She's like, I don't drive home from the bar drunk. Wait.
Well,
Well,
she,
I don't
sometimes.
parlay.
she
I don't parlay.
understands she can't even joke with you about parlays. You take that
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
way too seriously. She knows. You got to at least make sure you know her stance on this thing, man.
I got cricket
Yep.
parlayed in with this. A Korean horse racing, 2 cricket matches, and a soccer game with the Philadelphia Eagles.
And Eric throws
Boom.
in a Belarus hockey game.
And,
Yeah,
and a
yeah,
pickle and a pickleball tournament winner. I mean, one of the two, right? Ty?
Hey, I love those
Belarus
poly.
and Kazakhstan hockey. I'm really getting sharp too.
That's what I'm saying, man. You get sharp at Belarus hockey, you are sharp at anything right there, man. I
Yep.
love those little poly parlays.
Belarus
Yep,
hockey. Holy shit, dude.
they play that at about 5 a.m. These
Yeah,
books don't know nothing
Eric
about that.
dives so deep into the sports book, he finds where they're fucking up, and it might be in Belarus hockey, and then he's gonna find that fuck up in that number and
Hey.
capitalize.
They screw them up all day, every day, man.
Yeah,
You just
they
gotta
do.
find
You
'em.
just got to go find them.
They do. I just found Kenny Gainwell last touchdown 25-1. I think that's possible if the Eagles win this game. I like a little Kenny Gainwell
You
involvement.
like those last touchdown
like-
scores, man. You're a big. I
Yeah.
tell you, you're the master of finding those sneaky little plays in there, man.
Get a couple. I really got screwed on the Rico Dowdle one in that Giants game. He scored with 2 minutes left, and then
That
Sterling
is
Shepard
literally-
caught one with
That is the
6
play
seconds.
that's been keeping me off of those last touchdown scores, because I think about you every time when I see a last touchdown. I'm like, that's a brutal beat. You got DeVito throwing a touchdown pass right there to get you beat in that spot. That's awful.
Yeah.
Boy,
He scored
Tommy
one
Cutler.
touchdown in- They scored 1 touchdown in 57 and a half minutes of football.
Yeah.
I can't. We can laugh at it now, but at the time, it was pretty sick.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude.
I threw up in my mouth a little bit for you when you sent the text through.
Yeah, pretty sick.
Yep. I'm like, all we need now is no more touchdowns, and they went right into prevent defense.
He was at the final table with pocket aces and just got rolled with the fucking king on the board, and he rolled over Cowboys and went,
Yeah, I see.
fuck you.
I started to say,
Fuck
if you're
you.
right there in that spot, man, you better go ahead and
Yeah.
start walking toward the cash out cage, because
Yeah,
that's a
that's
loser.
it. God. damn.
Yep.
Anyways,
Last one. Wait, nope. Second
Boy.
last one.
second.
We got
one.
that.
We got Monday night. We got 2 Monday night football games. That's
Why?
kept secret all week. I'm not sure why. We
Okay.
have Monday night football next week.
Anybody
It's
know?
not the last week of Monday night football. I'm not sure. They have 2
I was
games.
waiting
that
for
we
them to
won.
tell us that there was a COVID scare, some kind of white lung scare, so they had to move a game. Here we go.
Yeah, that's the
Conspiracy.
new one. There's some new pneumonia
White
about
lung.
to drop.
Yeah, it's white
Watch
lung
out for
bullshit.
About to drop. Hey, they're about to drop a new pneumonia. This will be great.
that.
Just wash your
When's
hands.
the new
you
pneumonia
fools.
come out? Yep, exactly. Be hygienic and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
The Packers Giants. We basically ran.
There's
through
not
that.
much to cover there, all right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the Giants on one side. That's not a
Packers
lot.
easy win.
Yeah.
Titans at Dolphins. Dolphins laying 13.5. I don't think I'm afraid to lay either of the 13.5s on the board this week. Dolphins are minus 900, like the 49ers, who are only 800. 46.5. Dolphins could do that themselves. This Titans pass defense is horrific, and I fully expect McDaniel and them to take advantage of it. But some say the Miami pass offense only works because of the rush offense, which will be stifled a little bit against the Titans.
You
Rick
know,
is shaking his head. He's not worried.
no, not at all.
They'll
man.
figure it out, dude.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel throws so many different looks and formations and motions and things in there that, yeah, it can definitely counteract that strong run defense of the Titans. And then the Titans on the offensive side of the ball, we've talked about it before. The way they scheme this thing on the road, the way they play the game is ridiculous compared to what they do up in Nashville. And it's a much more solid scheme they have when they play at home. On the road, for whatever reason, they abandon that altogether. I don't see any way they stay in this game, man. McDaniel's going to throw a bunch of different looks at them. They're going to get Tyreek behind that defense. That secondary's been struggling in a lot of spots this year. You're going to have to match up with all these monsters they have on Miami. Tua slinging the pill. They're going to protect him right here. I don't see any way the Titans keep this thing close. I think this is you probably alternate line this one up. I think this is a 3-touchdown victory, another like 45-14 or something.
Yeah, I'm with him. When they play here at home, man, it's different. I mean, it's you come into everybody just completely like disappears offensively. But you're right, Devin Etienne, he's back. You see what he did last week after missing a bunch of games.
That guy's good.
This guy comes from like missing. He's done it twice already this season, right? Where he's missed like 4 games, comes back and scores like 3 touchdowns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, it's just like the dude is like the best like running back that could miss 4 or 5 games and then just come back and blows up. I mean, it's the offense as well. And Mostert is gonna get some love. I mean, it's Kyle Shanahan 2.0 freaking offense here with the different schemes they run on the run game, man. It's hard.
He's reinvented motion. He figured out a way to have Tyreek at a full run when the ball is snapped.
Yeah, that ought to be cheating.
Dude, freaking Tyreek, Tua Tagovailoa throws the football before Tyreek is nowhere near the damn vicinity where the ball is going. That's their offense. When they lose the game, it's because they restrict that, right? But that's the kind of offense it is. It's like Tyreek is not there yet, and freaking what's his name is already throwing the football. That's the way they play. Him and Waddle. By the way, Waddle, anytime touchdown here, who hasn't had one in a while, is probably a way to go here because I think he's gonna finally break that streak.
Waddle,
I like it.
Okay, yeah.
In the last couple games, you know Tyreek is gonna score, so it's like,
Ari, you're super chill by this point of the show. What do you think about this game?
I'm smoking all these pre-rolls.
Love it.
I think there's a little bit of a marginal play on the Dolphins. There's level 1 money, and it pushed out from 11.5 to minus 13. And looking at the total, it went from 44 to 46 46.5 on level 1 money, playing the under here. And then Vegas moved it to 47. So what they're saying is like, hey, squares, come keep playing the under like you're already doing. We're going to keep pushing this line up. So go over here. The over is a great play.
I like it.
Because I think Mayonnaise Boy is going to throw a couple of touchdowns. One of his fucking crazy ass.
Yep.
end
My
zone
guy
touchdowns.
Andrew Van Ginkel is going to get a sack in this game. Will Levis loves to get sacked. Van Ginkel had a sack last week. He had the quarterback wrapped up. Let him go. I don't know what felt sorry for him or what, but
Yeah, that was weird. That was a weird play, man. He had him wrapped like he was hanging on his back and just let him get away. I was like, "What are you doing?"
yep. So I assume
That guy
he's
has to
pissed
be.
off all week. He's going to get Will Levis.
Hey, you think this guy's related to Finkel, from Ace Ventura? The guy that holding the field goal kicker, way cool.
That'd be a cool family reunion.
I imagine that, dude. I mean, yeah, somebody needs to make some T-shirts.
Yeah.
Let me write that down.
Yeah. And that's our second Monday night game. Now I guess we go over what our favorite things are for today. Ari, what are your favorite angles for this beautiful Sunday NFL day we have?
Okay, I'd say my favorite underdog today is the Eagles plus 3.5. And since we're still playing this game, I like the over here. Vegas is clearly moving the line up, saying go over. There's no money on the total really, so play the over here. And the Eagles plus 3.5. I love that. And my best bet, now I'm expecting to make this 14 for 14 now. My best bet today is on the Niners.
Minus 13.5.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's on the post-it note. Cricket, what do you like today?
My best bet today is going to be the Baltimore Ravens minus 7.5. They already moved that line back up to half point to 7.5 right there just in the last few minutes. I don't think Vegas is scared of it. I like the Ravens to blow the doors off today. And now I am looking at that total in that Browns-Jaguars game, which has already gone up to 37.5 in just the last few minutes right there. Anytime I see it move up from that low number into one of my Goldilocks zones of 37 to 39.5 right there, if I see it move up into that area, I like to go over in this thing. So I'm probably changed my complete stance on this thing, and I'm going to go over now. Instead of leaving it alone, I'm going to go over in the Jaguars-Browns. So I like the over in that one, and then the Ravens minus 7.5 are probably my top two bets of the day.
Beautiful. I think I like I like a lot of dogs today. I like the Colts. I like the Eagles. Well, the Giants is tomorrow, but I also like the Bills tonight a little less after talking to you guys. But I do have a round robin of Colts, Bills, and Eagles, so we'll see how that plays out. Love Michael Pittman today. Michael Pittman and Jerick McKinnon, probably two of my favorite props now that we talked to Ari about it. To confirm all my priors, I feel good. Elio, what do you think is going to happen today? What are you most confident in?
Most confident? I like Detroit -3. Think of that one. And an upset. Actually, I'm gonna go against all you guys, but I think the Buccaneers might pull this one off.
That's right.
So I like the Bucks, man. I want Mike Evans to keep fucking getting 100-yard plus games here and a touchdown. And from a betting standpoint, I still like Cortland Sutton is my lock of the day for any time touchdown in that game.
All
just
right.
because he keeps doing it and doing it. So
Cricket's secretly on the Bucks. He just didn't want to say it.
I can't say it, man. I'm not allowed to say it, man. We'll see for sure.
Hold on a second. And I'm picking Jalen Hyatt, all right, also over on receiving yards, all right?
Let's go.
There we go, baby.
Let's go, man. I like it.
He
My
won't
guy
say it
right there.
himself, but if you say it, he'll support you.
I'm not in agreement.
I'm going to do a cricket parlay, which I'm going to pick everything Cricket wants to say, but I'm going to say it for it. I'm going to bet it for him, too. Let's go.
That's why that's my guy right there, man. He got my back.
Right. I'm going to roll this entire Post-it note into one wager, and then I'll take off work tomorrow.
I like it, man. Yeah, Applebee's on a date night after that one.
Let's go, baby. Where's Ponderosa at, baby?
Yep. They still doing 2 for 20s. I bet it's 2 for 40 out there at Applebee's now.
Inflation.
Yep.
We go to Sizzlers. Let's go, baby.
Ari, tell the people where they can find you.
Absolutely.
On the TikTok and elsewhere. And then we got to hit your products.
Absolutely. I'm excited about that. On TikTok, you could find me at Ariel Callista, ARIELCALISTA. I post my plays there every single day before the game. My ROI in the NFL this season is, I mean, you could see my ROIs like every season. You could see my baseball ROI last season was 34%. My ROI in the NFL this season is 34.2%.
On two different sports. That's hard to do.
Yep.
And I always post before the game, so you can make sure to get all of your bets in. I always recommend to do straight bets because that's what I do. I don't really do parlays, but it is a lot of fun. That's how I get the ROI, and I have a lot of fun on there. And also, you can find me on my website, which is www.arielcallista.com. It's ARIELCALISTA.com. You could sign up for my free daily emails where I have an analysis of how all the lines are moving and across various different leagues. I talk about NHL, I'm talking about the NBA, college, NFL. I have all of that, my analysis, how the money is moving, you'll learn more how I like make my analysis for all of these games. Also, you get a picture of me and get some fun updates about my life, my business, what's going on. So that's a lot of fun too. Check me out on arielcallista.com, and the daily emails are completely free. It's a lot of information. My 2 early bets that I posted on my emails that I didn't have time to do a video for TikTok yesterday, but the 2 early plays hit from my morning email. So that's just all the more reason you need to sign up for my free morning emails. It's a lot of fun. Just add your email address to the stay in touch box at arielcallista.com.
While you were talking, I pulled up your website and I signed up, and now I'm on the mailing list. That's how easy it is, folks.
Nice. Thank you so much. It's so easy too. The stay in touch box is right there, right in the front. The email
lovely
list.
Picture.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful website. Now, what sort of products have you brought this morning?
Okay. I brought the Whalers Stash Box. This is a product.
Don't worry, folks. It's durable.
Yeah.
I think
we're
the
just
products
product testing.
I think the products work a little too well. I was smoking a pre-roll all morning.
No
That's good advertising.
and I've been, hitting the ground floor.
You'll have that sometimes.
So you see the Whalers logo on the side. They're the iconic reggae bands. They've been around since the 70s. You have the new Marley One Love movie coming out in the next few months.
Is that like a biopic?
Yeah,
fake,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like that, but it's really fun, and you could actually see in the trailer he's writing down the Whalers, so that's really cool. So the Whalers, you're going to start hearing about them a lot more. This is one of the products that I've created for them. It's called a Stash Box. Inside of here, it's going to be in all kinds of smoke shops all over the countries. We have single pre-rolls, ground flower up here. No grinder necessary, duo pre-rolls. This whole box can literally retail at like $467, but we're selling it for $199, so it's a great deal. And hey, the holiday season is coming around. This is a great gift for yourself or for your friends, or hey, if you're having a party, it's also a great thing to just buy and have a little product on hand. And it's legal to ship everywhere, all 50 states, because this is Delta 8. And like it'll still get you really high, like as you could tell. I'm dropping things, whatever that happens. So it works really well, but you could actually ship it to every single state.
Okay.
That's awesome. Even in Wisconsin, where they hate fun.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, I could ship this anywhere, so this is a great product.
Nice. PSR HQ, care of PSR host guy. Cricket, tell us about sportspicks.crickets.winners.locals.com.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Cricket1414, but for the best value in sports handicapping, come check us out over at sportspicks.locals.com. We have the great Robert Barnes making the official picks, now 10-0 on his big 5% plays this year. Got a couple 5% plays up for the college football playoff. But don't miss out, man. Get over there, sign up, take advantage of that. Sportspicks.locals.com, where we turn the odds in your favor.
Man, you really nail that. Elio, where are you at on the internet? I know where you are in real life. You're sitting on a beach with some palm trees behind
It's not, beach is not a little far away from here, but we do have a lot of palm trees. So it's, again, find me on Twitter, Joe's_talk, right there. Just check the bio and hit my link tree where you can find my podcast and every other social media outlet, and where I post my content. Just that's the easiest way to go, man. We pretty much everything, whether it's iTunes, Apple Music, whatever the hell it is, and of course all the big threes. I'm on Twitter as well. I'm on TikTok and Rumble and YouTube. So,
Oh, you're on the TikTok with the young
With
folks.
the kids. Well, yeah, he's one part of the cool kids, man.
I got some shit in there, dude. I got some stuff in there. I got some videos.
I'll make sure to give you a follow.
I'm gonna check you out too. I didn't know. Yeah, I'm gonna check you out too. So I'll hit you up and then
Yeah.
There you go. Subscribe here if you're not already. We will see you right back here next Sunday morning. We'll figure out the entire slate. Until then, best of luck with all your wagers and your lineups. Be good to each other. Chris, kick the outro music.
Peace.
Oh, no, that's a different song. It's in there.